just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.
Hello. Welcome. I am Lawrence Owen, and I am here with another NFL update. Apparently, the Colts safety Malik Hooker could be a trade candidate. We have a Clutch Points article by Hunter Knoll. The Indianapolis Colts selected Malik Hooker in the 15th overall pick of the 2017 NFL Draft. Since then, the defensive back has flashed his potential. Although he may not be the most elite safety in the league, Hooker has insane athleticism and has showed improvements in his game. He's also just 24 years old. Because of that, it should be no surprise that teams are interested in Hooker. And according to Stephen Holder of The Athletic and Dov Kleiman, the safety could be on the trade block. In addition to the 2017 second-round pick Quincy Wilson, the Colts have also have 2017 first-round pick Malik Hooker on the trade block. Hooker was a 15th overall pick in that draft and started 33 games in the past 3 seasons, picking off 7 passes. Stephen Holder at the Athletic says the initial word I'm getting on Hooker is that it seems that teams have called on the Colts to inquire about him and not the other way around. Taking everything with a grain of salt this time of year, but I believe this is very plausible. But just because Hooker is potentially on the trade block does not mean the Colts are at all interested in trading him. Still, they might be willing to hear the offers. As mentioned already, Hooker's still very young. He's improving in his game and is extremely athletic. All that could mean his price tag could be pretty high. And if a team wants to pay the world for him, the Colts might be smart to listen. In 3 seasons, Hooker has appeared in 34 games. Only 34 games in 3 seasons. But in that time, he's racked up 117 tackles, 7 picks, and 11 interceptions, or 11 deflections. The numbers might need some work due to his injury history, and he definitely needs to prove that he can still play a full season. However, Hooker's upside heavily outweighs any concerns. And if the Colts want to keep the safety past his current deal, which ends after the 2020 season, they might have to pony up a sizable chunk of money. There's a chance the Indianapolis isn't sure if they want to sign him to a new long-term deal. And if that's the case, trading Hooker might be the smarter option, especially if a team is interested enough to give them a great package in return. This also appears to be just mainly speculation at this point. Both Holder and Kleiman seem to make it pretty clear that it is far from a foregone conclusion that Hooker could be traded. But it is clear that if interesting teams are sniffing around the Colts to see if the Colts are willing to move him. Alex of USN says Hooker, when on the field, has been a great contributor, great awareness in terms of pass defense. Absolutely agree. He has been outstanding when it comes to that kind of stuff. However, I want to thank Let Me Be Frank for rejoining. I had to redo this stream because the earlier one, apparently my microphone was unplugged and I didn't even realize it. So my apologies. Now, here's the deal. Little bit of background on his injury history, okay? In his rookie year, he got hurt in week 7. Tore his ACL and his MCL in the same knee. In week 7, gone rest of the season. That's 9 games, gone. In his sophomore season, but hold on, in his rookie year, in those first 6 games that he played, he had 22 tackles, 6 assists, 3 interceptions in 6 games. He showed the kind of high-flying ability that Malik Hooker showed in college at Ohio State. In his sophomore season, he gets hurt in week 10. Another knee injury. But the other knee. Gone rest of the season in 2018. Even missed the playoffs. the playoffs, which included the Kansas City Chiefs, where in which Malik Hooker would have been really well needed in that game. But in those weeks leading up to week 10, he had 44 tackles, 14 assists, 2 picks for 34 yards. He had some issues. I'll get to that in a moment. Last season, he gets hurt in week 3, torn meniscus, gone, missed until week 8. And then after that, he had hand and foot injuries, which hampered his abilities the rest of the season that he was playing. Summers, welcome to the stream. I appreciate you being here. Now, just because, I want to say this straight off, first off. I want to thank everyone on Sportscaster that's watching this. Thank you very much. If you're watching on the Clutch Points app, thank you for watching this. If you want to be able to join in the conversation, the live chat, feel free, come to Sportscaster. Spend about 30 seconds to make a profile. Give me a follow. Smash that like button down below. That way I know that I'm doing a good job for you. If you're watching this on YouTube later on, please smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button. That way you are notified next time I go live. Now, here's the deal. His rookie year, the Colts should have kind of figured out, had a little bit of a figure, hey, Malik Hooker might have some injury history, right? I mean, he finished his season at Ohio State with hip surgery. He wasn't even able to get into training camp and stuff like that for the Colts early on. And that was his rookie year. Yes, he had a ton of athleticism, but he had hip surgery. And then, as I said early on in week 3, he tears his ACL and MCL. Right after hip surgery, he's got to get knee surgery. Major knee surgery. Terrible for him. Terrible. So right away, he has 2 surgeries inside 6 months. Or 9 months. Inside 9 months, 2 major surgeries. Then his sophomore season comes around. And he plays well. He plays well all the way up until week 10 when he injures his knee. He showed a lot of athletic ability. He was able to move around very well. He was still, though, very fresh. His sophomore season was kind of like his rookie season, considering he only played 3 weeks in his rookie season. So we're going to figure the 2018 season as kind of like his rookie season. And through the first 10 weeks, he had some issues, making the right angles to get tackles and things of that nature, wanting to be physical in the run game. He played the pass very, very well, played deep. Indianapolis Colts was one of the best teams in his sophomore season in 2018 at defending the deep ball. They were, I think, like 3rd in the NFL at allowing any plays 20-plus yards in the entire NFL. But he gets hurt, misses the playoffs. That was the last year Andrew Luck played. Last year, beginning of the year, he comes out and says, "This is the healthiest I have ever felt in my life." The healthiest. When asked during his sophomore season if those previous injuries kind of affected the way he played, and he said, yes, mentally. Mentally, it affected the way I played because I was afraid of getting hurt. So we understand that this when you get injured over and over and over, he had 3 major injuries in a year and a half. So yeah, I understand this. And it plays havoc on your head. It doesn't allow you to be as explosive because, you know, your change of direction and things of that nature. You're afraid you might tear something, pull something. I get that. I understand that. That's why you got to be careful. Get yourself fully healthy. Get out in training camp. Play training camp wise. Now, Malik Hooker's not the only safety that the Colts have had issues having major injuries. Many of you may remember Bob Sanders. Great free safety who was able to come down, strong safety, able to come down and, a completely different type of safety. He was your box safety who loved to hit, make hardcore tackles. But it's very similar impact, game-changing plays on defense. He made his return in 2006, missed most of the season 2006, came back in the playoffs, gave so much to that defense in 2006 to where a Colts team that wasn't expected to make it out of the wild card round was able to defeat all of their opponents, including the New England Patriots in the AFC title game, and win the Super Bowl. But because of the injury history Bob Sanders had, it ended his career short. That is a bit of a fear because it's still fresh in the minds of the Colts organization. It's still fresh in the minds of Colts fans that Malik Hooker might be in a similar situation. I want to thank Summers, you're looking at the Mania, and Phils for joining the stream here on Sportscaster. Now, Malik Hooker is not the only major name at safety that other teams are calling to inquire about, right? You got Jamal Adams on the Jets, who's also very young and has not had the injury history that Malik Hooker has had. So that's going to provide less ammo on Malik Hooker because, the Colts are not shopping Malik Hooker. It's straight said, they're not calling people asking for trading Malik Hooker. Other teams are calling, inquiring, hey, are you interested in taking, compensation for Hooker? We could take Hooker off your hands. What would be the cost to even get Malik Hooker? I would say, now I read an article by a Philadelphia Eagles writer earlier today stating that he thought that the Eagles might be able to get Hooker for maybe a 4th and a 6th. I laughed. I personally feel as though Malik Hooker, there was no way that Malik Hooker was going to go for such a short amount. I just don't see it. I figure maybe a 2nd round pick. The reasoning for that is because of how athletic, how powerful he really is. Malik Hooker, his athleticism, his ability to make plays deep in the backfield is outstanding. And like I said earlier, he was afraid to come downhill early on in his sophomore season. He was afraid of getting injured. He was afraid of getting into the box. Last season, you've seen him in the box a lot more beside Clayton Geathers. He would come into the box, make tackles at and behind the line of scrimmage with the defensive linemen, with the linebackers. But the Colts couldn't get quarterback pressure consistent enough to make Malik Hooker as effective as what his athleticism could provide. Being that he is a single high center field safety that can go sideline to sideline, you need a front 7 that can get pressure on a quarterback quick and fast. So that the quarterback can throw deep, maybe get some errant throws. Malik Hooker can use his athleticism and catching ability to make plays on that. This is why Clayton Geathers is no longer on the team as well. Clayton Geathers was a box safety, no longer on the Indianapolis Colts. He's been replaced by Khari Willis, who is more of an athletic safety very similar to Malik Hooker. They will be sitting in the backfield, along with the trade Chris Ballard made, giving the first pick of the Colts, the 13th overall pick, to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for DeForest Buckner, and then signing him to a very long-term $21 million a year deal. That's going to pair him up with Justin Houston. That's going to pair him up with Kemoko Turay, Darius Leonard, Bobby Okereke. And then, of course, you see a lot of nickel blitzes that Matt Eberflus loves to bring in with Kenny Moore. This will provide pressure on quarterbacks from this year on out. This will apply the pressure and allow quarterbacks to throw errant passes, throw the ball before they're ready to, and give Malik Hooker more of a chance. We saw what Malik Hooker could do earlier in the 2019 season. Week 1, when he was healthy, Phillip Rivers tried to throw a pass right over the middle to what appeared to be a wide open receiver in the back of the end zone. Everyone watching that thought it was a surefire touchdown for the Chargers. Then out of nowhere, Malik Hooker come flying, a leaping, jumping interception, one-handed, snagged it right out of the air to the surprise of the receiver, who was sitting there in shock as Hooker caught the ball with one hand, ran out of the back of the end zone, and took it out into the 20-yard line. That's the kind of play that you will see from a healthy Malik Hooker. The only problem is, will we ever see a full season of a healthy Malik Hooker? Yes, that was a fire play, Alex. That was definitely a fire play. Thank you, LA Laura 38, for joining the stream here on Sportscaster. That is much appreciated. Don't forget, if you enjoy this stream, please smash that favorite button down there. As I said before, Malik Hooker in his first 3 seasons has missed a total of 19 games due to injury. And a lot of the games he did play, he was hampered by other injuries. So you didn't get to see the full healthy Malik Hooker except for the first 3 weeks of the 2019 season. I fully believe that Malik Hooker needs to get healthy this offseason. Dakota, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here. I fully believe that Hooker just needs to spend his time, use this time, this stay-at-home coronavirus thing that's going on. Speaking of that, I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope they're practicing social distancing when they absolutely have to leave. And then when you don't, you're staying home so that everyone can be safe and we can get this coronavirus situation out of our back rearview mirror. Anyhow, so if Malik Hooker can get healthy, get into training camp. Hopefully training camp will start on time. Malik Hooker go out there, get healthy, do a lot of physical therapy to make sure all of his joints, his elbows, his knees, his ankles, shoulder issues, all of that stuff is healthy. His muscles are strong. All of his tendons. Do the physical stuff. Get his body to peak physical condition. That way, when preseason starts, when the regular season starts, less likely to have injuries. Now, I don't know if it's a personal thing when it comes to injuries for the Indianapolis Colts, because last season, the Indianapolis Colts had a slew of injuries over their entire roster. Dakota, thank you for the tip. Appreciate that. Not only did Malik Hooker miss a few games, Clayton Gathers missed a few games. A lot of the safety position missed a few games. A lot of the cornerback positions missed a few games. Many games. The wide receiver position was devastated. All of the athletic positions. Eric Ebron went on IR late in the season due to ankle injuries. Devin Funchess had a broken collarbone. T.Y. Hilton had his leg injuries where he played only half the season, and then in the games he did play, he shouldn't even been out there because he wasn't able to actually make plays. Paris Campbell had multiple games where he was hurt. Marlon Mack missed a couple games due to a broken hand. The Indianapolis Colts have been plagued by injuries. The only position that wasn't plagued by injuries was the trenches. The only player between the offensive line and the defensive line that really missed any significant time due to injury was Kemoko Turay, their pass rush specialist that left, I believe, in week 6 due to a broken leg and missed the rest of the season. All the offensive linemen started every game, all 16 games last season. But it's the athletic positions that were destroyed by so many injuries. And it's been like that for years. Is it because of the artificial turf in Lucas Oil Stadium? Is it the way they practice? Is it their health? Is it their physical therapy? The Indianapolis Colts need to get to the bottom of this because they are consistently near the bottom of teams with so many injuries on their team. I don't believe Malik Hooker will be traded. As I said earlier, Malik Hooker, these trade offers or calls that are coming in, nothing about Indianapolis, Chris Ballard, or anyone calling other teams inquiring, are they interested? It's all about other teams calling the Colts, wondering, hey, what would you be interested in for Malik Hooker? Yes, there have been reports that Chris Ballard has yet to offer a 5th-round tender to activate that on Malik Hooker. But that's not any surprise when the guy hasn't been able to stay healthy his first 3 seasons. He's looking for him in his 4th season to stay healthy. If he's able to do that, not only is a 5th-round tender possible, an extension might be made. I doubt it, though. I think a tender, at this situation, a tender would be smarter because if he could stay healthy for 1 season, they would tender him, see if he could stay healthy for 2 seasons. Then the extension would happen. Kind of similar to what happened with Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly, his first 3 seasons, did not stay healthy. Then, his 4th season, he stayed healthy. They slapped that tender on him to see if this coming season, this year being his 5th year, he could stay healthy continually. Then they can throw that contract. They've already proven they will pay their own if a player can stay healthy and play exceptional ball on the field. Malik Hooker's already proven he can play exceptional when he's on the field. He just got to show that he can stay healthy. So I want to thank everyone that's been here on this stream. This has been absolutely fantastic. You could follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Colts_Law. You can follow me here on Sportscaster at ColtsLawUSN and Lawrence Owen. Lawrence Owen is my Clutch Points profile. And then you can follow me on YouTube as well at Lawrence Owen. Until next time, as usual, thank you for watching and have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.